I would like to start with the similarities between German and Polish family businesses. Both are family businesses, and that means they have a very, very special approach. They want to influence a business as a family for more than one generation. They have the long-term perspective, and they want to hand over all the things within their family and not to foreign owners. They are not in the first thing, they're capitalists. This is what I call it's family capitalism. It's a much more social approach they have. So a lot of similarities that have to do with family businesses. But there's one great difference because of this interruption. You have the communist regime. The tradition with family businesses in Poland is not as long as we have it in Germany, and that leads to a different type of family business. While in Poland, most of the family businesses are first and second generation. That means very often sole ownership and owner management. In Germany, we have a great variety of family businesses, first, second, fourth, third, fourth, fifth generation, one shareholder up to 600 shareholders, family owner managed, but family controlled. I think the variety is the biggest difference between Poland and Germany. And when we look at succession, then in Poland, normally we deal with the first to second generation succession. Maybe some of them go to second to third generation. In Germany, we have succession from first to second as well as from sixth to seventh. And the type of family business, as I mentioned earlier, is different when the family business becomes older, when the number of shareholders become bigger and bigger. So I think in Poland at the moment you focus and have to deal with the most critical part of succession, because no other succession is as difficult as the handing over of ownership and management from the first to the second generation. Succession is the most important decision and the most important thing in the whole life cycle of a family business. And when we go from the first to the second generation, it's our first succession. That means we don't have any experience with succession, but we have to understand that we should handle it in the most professional way. To understand that we need external help, for example, then that we should say as a goal for the whole family, we want to make it in a professional way. As my client mentioned when he came to me years ago, I said, Peter, I know that I'm a very, very successful businessman and I built a fantastic family business, but I also want to handle my succession as well as everything I did before. I think this is very, very, very important. The second factor is the age of the patriarchs is over. Therefore, it's not enough that the patriarch has good ideas and sits down with his consultants and they write it down, and then they go to the family and say, that's the way we do it. I think it's very, very important that we understand that we should bring the whole family together, sit around the table, and then develop a joint solution. I admire my colleague Adriana Lewandowska. What she is doing here in Poland is outstanding. It's fantastic, and I love that we have the possibility to work with each other. This is publishing together. We wrote a book together. We work in projects together. From time to time, I have the opportunity to come to Poznań and speak at her conference. But to be honest, there's one thing we both are complaining a little bit about. Is we both have so little time that we don't find enough time to share our ideas and to work in concrete projects. Every year when we meet here at the conference, we say, next year we will do more, but then after 1 year we say another year is gone and we didn't find the time to do as much together as we would like to. A little bit what Mr. Milieu said, become who you are. When I was born into a family business, and from the first moment I loved it, and I still love family business, but I'm not an entrepreneurial type. I am a teacher. When I was a young boy, I started to finding out how things work, what is good and what is bad, and what do you need to be successful for. And after finding out, I didn't do it like my brother. I started explaining to everybody. And I think when I was 20, my father once said to me, "Peter, you are a theorist." And he was completely right. Therefore I decided not to work in the family business, but to become a teacher for family businesses. Now my personal life story is a little bit different. I started as a lawyer and as a teacher for family business, and then my father became seriously ill, and he was too young that my brothers could take over. I was the eldest one, and then they asked me, "Peter, couldn't you do it?" And from 1990 to 1996, I led our family business, and from the perspective from now, I would say there was a great decision for me in my life. First, I realized that I don't like this way of working. I'm not a really good entrepreneur, although we were successful in this time. But secondly, I learned a lot how it's different to be a good consultant and telling everybody what he or she should do, or speaking with own experience. Therefore, I'm happy that I could do that. But I'm happy that I have a family business background on one side, and on the other side that I can do what I love most. The company is a producer of beverages and food products, and one of the big suppliers to Aldi, Lidl, and we don't have own brands, but supply to the big retailers. In Germany, we know this family foundation, and more families now choose the family foundation as a way to secure family ownership over many generations. What are the pluses, the advantages of such a foundation? I think a foundation gives a family business a lot of stability. First, if there are conflicts within the family, these conflicts no longer go directly into the business. Secondly, if a family member who is an owner wants to sell his or her shares, he or she can do it, and that means that we lose capital. And the other thing is, if someone wants to leave, this normally doesn't go without conflict. If we have a foundation, the family members don't own the shares. The shares are owned by the family foundation, and that means no one can sell the shares. So a lot of stability, and to be honest, I love family foundation, but we also should look at the risks of a family foundation, because a family business, as each business, needs entrepreneurial spirit. And to explain to your next generation that they don't own the company leads to the question, then if we are the owners, are we entrepreneurs? So the question, how can we combine stability given by a foundation with entrepreneurship, is one of the key challenges if you install a family foundation.